So guys, I thought we would get back on track and do a commentary video as I haven't done one in a while. I was feeling a bit, for want of a better word, sorry for myself, a bit doom and gloom. I never do so well in winter. If anybody knows what I'm on about, during the winter period, especially in the UK, I always get a bit low. This month has been a bit of a low one, and I was thinking about my channel and what you guys enjoy, and obviously I want to provide something for you, and so you seem to enjoy the commentaries, and so I thought I would do one. Before we begin, I want to obviously say that speculation, and also I want to point directly to my channel. You see here, if I just bring us out, you can see we have a couple of 10 minutes of classic clips, and a Sunday ramble and a couple of videos. My channel's been doing all right. These last few have done not as well, but I know you guys aren't as keen on the gameplay. But if you do support me, and you want me to carry on, being energetic and sticking with the franchise, the best thing you can do is just drop a like and a comment. It just helps the entire channel and algorithm, and it keeps things going. We're going to talk about GGZII Eday being cancelled. You're going to say, how could Eday be cancelled? Well, chances are it's probably not going to be cancelled, but I have been thinking about a few things, and I've actually presented a few points here, which I'm going to read out. Now, again, I hate to be like advertising, but I think it's literally 96% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, please consider it. It's free. And if you want to keep the channel going and growing, the very best way is just to put a comment and a like. One comment, one like, you know the rules. Now, let's get into some GGZII Eday talks. This is the big one. Obviously, I've done tons of videos on why GGZII Reloaded was a bit of a flop, the 100 reasons why, and funnily enough, many large channels have now come out saying the same thing, but they don't want to credit, even if they were inspired. But let's not get into that. Let's talk today about Xbox and Eday. How can GGZII Eday be cancelled? How could it be cancelled? How could Xbox change? I like to bring something to the table and have a think with you. So, with Xbox, hardware is no longer the centerpiece of the Xbox universe. Xbox is increasingly platform agnostic, meaning it's not really about the platform at all. You've got Game Pass, cloud gaming, cross-platform releases, handhelds. You've got, like, no longer is it when you think of Xbox, you just think of the box, you plug it in, you play the games that Xbox lets you play. Third-party partnerships, you've got handhelds, streaming devices that are not been made by Xbox. And sort of, if you want to think about Xbox being killed in some weird way, is it's PC parity, meaning all of a sudden, it used to be like when I made the switch literally almost 2 decades ago to play PC, one of the things I had to think about was there's going to be games that I can never play once I move to PC. Now, a PC is basically an Xbox. The difference between playing on PC and Xbox, it's not like it used to be. Game Pass has kind of redefined the business model. And right now, it's subscription over sales, right? So Game Pass basically shifts the value of money from being, hey, here's your initial purchase, to like a reoccurring billing, right? And that is what is spiraling Xbox into more and more money. And they've become more of a publisher. They're kind of like an intermediary publisher that Xbox is kind of now acting like, how do I say this? They're not like, this is our game, the only way you can play it is Xbox. They're more like, hey, Starfield, Call of Duty, and future Activision titles and whoever else they, get a hold of. They're basically distributing games as opposed to holding them and saying, come and get our Xbox. There's just less and less incentive for console ownership. If you own a Game Pass on your mobile PC or even a smart TV, can become more essential than owning an Xbox, because if you want to watch your TV or something like that, you need the TV. But with an Xbox, it's like if you want to play the Xbox things, you don't even need the Xbox. So it's clearly like this cross-platform strategy that they're going for. Day one launches on other platforms, right? So it's not even a case of, well, Xbox get it 2 months early. It's no, we're just going to give the other service the exact same opportunity. And they're basically like this service layer between game publisher, distribution, and Xbox now is becoming a bit of a logo, meaning it's just something they put on the thing, right? Hey, this is on Xbox, but it's also on loads of other things, like the handheld. They were going to make their own handheld. They weren't sure if they could sell 12 million units. Now they're getting like Asus ROG to make it and kind of just putting on a logo. It's not really an Xbox hardware that's entirely designed to get every single inch out of Xbox. It's just, yeah, it kind of works with Xbox and we'll put our logo on it. Yeah, obviously the hardware they make is good and they're still going to remain like a dominant figure, but it's totally changing. And the future is going from we're Xbox the platform to we're a publisher. And they're trying to survive through basically transforming their, if you want to call it their brand. So Xbox kind of on a hardware level of you need Xbox to play the thing. It's kind of like it's like iTunes became Apple Music, right? Now, when we talk about how does this relate to GGZII, well, they're obviously trying to make money, and Xbox are making more money than they ever have done before. And AAA development budgets can easily exceed 200, 300, 400 million. And if Game Pass subscriptions don't spike because of that title's release, meaning people aren't going, well, I need to own Game Pass to get this, because remember, Xbox is now like a layer on top of other hardware. So unless they see Eday and they go, shit, everybody wants this and our subscriptions have skyrocketed, there might not be support. And if there's not support for it, then the scope is going to get brought down. And if the scope is going to get brought down and they know they're not going to support it, which I'm going to get into, things change. So there might be players that play the game, but what they're looking for is, how is this spiking our Game Pass model? And the Game Pass model really kind of disincentivizes these risky games, because the subscribers of Game Pass basically expect all the games to come at no extra cost, even though the cost has now gone up, which is a whole other ball game. The crazy games are going to get more scrutiny. So they might say to GGZII or GGZII or whatever, hey, Gears 5 was a bit of a wild one. I think we want you to return back to the safety, kind of like how Battlefield has returned to the safety of, they might not be doing anything new and the hype will fade for that game, but at the moment, people are reliving Battlefield. I think they said to them, listen, keep this steady, stable, don't rock the boat. And I think actually Gears does need the boat rocking, which makes me worried. Now, again, there's been a strategic shift away from console-driven franchises and console sellers. Really now a console seller is kind of like a Nintendo game. Like, you need the Nintendo to play the game. I feel like Eday, maybe when it was pitched or maybe when it was thought about, was really almost like a system seller. Whereas we know it's now going to be on the current system. It's not like they didn't. Let me look at it this way. They didn't churn out Gears 6 and get it done. And now we're coming to the end of Gears 6, which is what I thought should have happened. Then they could pause for a couple of years. GTA runs its lifespan, and then whatever, a new console comes out in a few years, and they go, we are rebuilding Gears for this platform, for this game, for this console. That's not what they're doing. They're just kind of lobbing it out there after lobbing out a remaster of a remaster. And so they're obviously focused on cross-platform publishing, and that kind of thing weakens Gears, because Gears was like one of the main reasons it kind of got a bit of notoriety, right, was you need an Xbox to play this. Well, now you don't. So now that everybody can get their hands on it, it becomes a little bit less exclusive, a little bit less desirable, and people are playing it and now judging it differently. Now, the coalition could have been redirected. If Gears Reloaded underperformed, which I believe it did, they could easily say, listen, I know you had 6 years of live content planned for Gears Eday, which they won't do, but hypothetically, you can easily imagine a world where Microsoft might say, listen, you're pretty good at the Unreal 5 engine now, you've learnt it. Your studio's pretty good, but the game you're working on is bad. It keeps failing. You're not doing a good enough job. So put Eday out, bring the scope of it down. It will sell, we'll cover costs, it will have players, but we're not going to give it 10-year lifespan. Let's put you on new IPs. And the talent sort of restructuring, like leadership changes, layoffs from the Xbox Game Studio, could easily mess up Eday's production pipeline and make continuation of the game kind of untenable and making the game and producing it unrealistic. Now, I think that Gears Eday is so far along in its lifespan that it can't be cancelled, but I want to put out here that I don't think it's within the realms of possibility that they looked at how bad Reloaded did and think, we don't want to pour hundreds of millions of dollars into Gears Eday, future content, battle passes, tons of staff, years of content, years of tournaments, like they pumped money in with Gears 4, and they're just thinking, all right, I think this is not hit the mark. The move to PlayStation hasn't hit the mark that we wanted to. Maybe they give Gears Eday as like, all right, give the PlayStation players a proper Gears experience, not this remaster, see how it does. But I feel like there's a possibility that Gears Reloaded comes out, doesn't hit the mark on PlayStation, subscriptions don't skyrocket for this title, and they think, bring down the scope of it until it's dead very early. Now, again, if Eday was like a traditional kind of single player, more single player, more PvE, more let's players play it on their own, that might not actually align with what Game Pass kind of wants. Game Pass wants it wants regular, sort of scalable, easily produced content, can just keep adding to the game and keep the, basically, like me right now, I have my Xbox Game Pass subscription. Gears Reloaded is totally cooked and dead for an EU PC player. So when Path of Exile comes out, I'm cancelling my subscription and I probably won't resubscribe. And if there's no content going to the game, then that's what I'm saying. They're going to be like, well, you're not really helping out the Game Pass here because you're not upgrading your game. And then obviously you've got like internal competition, overlap, like too many similar projects across the year plus of shooter audience, if you want to call it that, machine games, Activision, Blizzard, everything under that Microsoft umbrella, which is loads now. Like Gears is trying to compete for the shooter audience, and people might just prioritize bigger IPs like Elder Scrolls, Doom, Call of Duty, whatever, right? And then obviously we've got the whole issue with Unreal Engine 5. I know they're working on it, but it's actually had quite a lot of sort of issues in itself. And I think as well, like what I'm trying to put out there is I think there's like reboot fatigue. I feel like every year Call of Duty got rebooted, rechanged, and everybody got bored of COD. I feel like everybody's bored of Gears. I don't think it's dead, but I think Microsoft could definitely pause Eday, withhold it, scale it right back to basically cement its death because of what they've seen already. And here's the big kicker, guys. Here's the really big kicker. Again, do leave a like and a comment. And if I can just put it in here, I'm going to be releasing a montage for Gears Reloaded, and that video is really important to me. So if at any point you see a montage, go onto my channel. Whether you want to sit down or watch it or not, if you support me as like a person that's made content for nearly 20 years, just know that if you go across onto it and you leave a like and a comment, it will really help lift me. So if you do ever see a montage and you want to support me, that would be a great way. Now, I wanted to end the video on the big idiotic decision that I think Gears has done. I think Gears 5, when I made my big rant and I said never touch the game, never play the game, never waste any more of your time, never give this company any money, was I wrong? 6 years ago, was I wrong? If you'd have listened to me and not put any more time into Gears and totally moved on, would I have been wrong? No. If after a year or two they'd have been like, this first year we fucked up, this is the wrong direction, thanks everybody for playing, we're going to crank out Gears 6, wrap up the trilogy, and we'd now had 3 years of Gears 6, and now we were pausing. Do we want a remaster of the original? Do we want a Phoenix collection? We could have had Gears 6 wrapped up, then we could have had a Phoenix collection of Gears 1, 2, 3 release, all at the same time, like the Microsoft, the Halo series where you can queue all of the games at the same time. And that could have tided us over until a whole new console, and then the new console could have been, by the way, here's Eday, or here's whatever project Gears had. Instead, we've had this really fucking... I'm sorry, you know, I'm trying to swear less, by the way, but I do get passionate about Gears. Thumbs up. We have this really fucking stupid problem that TC have done. And listen to this. They are going to release the game to, air quotes, get Gears back on track directly. They're going to release it into Grand Theft Auto 6. How fucking stupid. Grand Theft Auto 6 will dominate attention globally. Marketing, social media, cultural impact, it will eclipse everything. Streaming, roleplay, everything. Guides, everything. Even, and here's the thing, even if for some miraculous reason GTA 6 was bad, they have so much money that they will be able to fix the game and will fix it. GTA 6 will not flop. Every single piece of media coverage from YouTube streamers and everything will be GTA 6. Players would, if you just said to them now, it's $100 for GTA 6, they'd pay it. At any other franchise, they'll say no. GTA 6, they'll pay it. It will be memes, leaks, videos, analysis, everything's going to dominate the feeds. And you're saying, hey guys, a few months prior, we released Eday. I know you've all got a bit bored of it now, but we're going to do a new season. We're going to add a couple maps. We're going to add some skins or characters. Mate, I'm playing GTA 6. GTA 6 has so much money and so much just desire to be a good game that, here's the thing. They make like mini games in GTA, don't they? Like you can play the tennis, the golf, the driving. If for some miraculous reason Gears Eday became like the biggest game ever, GTA 6 would just put a third-person shooter as a mini-game inside GTA 6. That's how much they can do. And Xbox is not going to push Gears when GTA 6 exists. They're going to release Eday, and then it's going to be forever in GTA shadow. I don't know what's releasing in 2026, 2027. Maybe a Call of Duty. But I reckon there's not many big games releasing then because they just know it was just a disaster. Launching Gears of War, to put it into perspective, guys, launching Gears of War Eday is like if everybody had $15 to go to the movies and you tell them, do you want to come and watch this like random sci-fi movie on the same weekend that Avengers Endgame comes out? Like, even if the sci-fi movie's good, they're saving their money for Avengers Endgame. It's a bit of it's going to be background noise on Game Pass. That's what Gears Eday is going to be, and I think if you were reading the room, there could be a scenario where they go, just forget it. Actually, just forget Gears 6 Eday. This is not going to work. Or like a massive scale back. I think there's only two things that happen. They either go, oh wow, Gears Eday is launching and it flopped. Can it? Like, don't put any more money in. Or they billow money in to save it, and I can't see that. I just want to put it out there for the guys that have watched 20 minutes. Okay, I want you to think about this and leave a like on the video. Consider becoming a member to support me. Because listen to this. TC have not communicated in any way. I have literally communicated more. I have explained the patch notes. I have explained the game and done tutorials and helped, and probably with videos inspired more people to pick up and try the game than TC have. TC have done nothing. The last time the Coalition Studio tweeted was June the 9th, 2024, when they retweeted Gears. And the last time they actually tweeted, as in wrote something theirself, was April the 13th, 2023. Since then, they have done one more tweet that they have written, and it was October the 17th, and it said, respect to Double Fine on Keeper, friendship, loyalty, and heart, that's what keeps us fighting. And they were quote tweeting a puzzle game called Keeper that was releasing. They have chosen to not speak to you. They have chosen to not help Gears 5. They let Gears 5 die and stop talking. They have let Gears Reloaded die and stop talking. This company are shit. They are shit. And I think now you understand why I was so tilted and annoyed at the Gears 5 launch, because I could see this coming. And maybe now the people that didn't like me and thought I was just a negative Nancy, you can understand where we are. Here we are again. They still aren't talking. They are pathetic. They are useless. They are shit. If they have a problem with me saying that, well, guess what? Everyone else is beginning to think this way because you're literally not talking. You are the developer, and guess what? You are not developing. In fact, you're killing Gears. So there we go. That's why I think Gears Eday could be a massive, massive disaster. And I could see a world where it gets cancelled. I really could. I mean, look, it only takes 4 months of delays that all of a sudden, rather than releasing in 2026, you're suddenly right on the back of Gears, right on the back of GTA, and then what's the point? I can easily see them saying, can it? And people will say, well, they've put so much money into it, why would they cancel it now? Well, they've cancelled big franchises like Project Dark. That there is a world where they go, look, the game's going to come out, it's going to need hundreds of millions of dollars of support to even make this thing viable. We're not going to do that, so let's cut our losses and let's put these people that have worked on the Unreal Engine onto different projects. Do I think that will happen? No, but I just wanted to do a different kind of video today and talk to you and maybe spark some ideas in your brain.